letting the music play out, because the action could be thick and fast in the Dewey Ban Rek'Sai game. That is the first game here, and then the Lock-in Katarina game. Those are the two games we're looking at in game number 2 of Jin Air vs. DAMWON. Patch 9.4, you're joining us late, no global bans. So Ashe, not been cited, but is available. And the Yorick Mori also available, which, again, game number 1, conspicuous by his absence. I'm scared about the potential Sylas versus Yorick interaction that happened in the LPL, but maybe patch 9.4 has fixed that bug. As Jin Air start off with a Galio ban, Galio Kalista duo will not be coming together.
Rek'Sai not going to be allowed to be played here by DAMWON twice in a row. Going to ban that one out, so we don't get to see the new Rek'Sai today, unless we have a game 3, of course.
At least it was 100% pick ban if this ends up being a 2-game series, because in game number 1, first set, we had no picks or bans for Rek'Sai, which we found surprising. Jin Air didn't have an answer for the Yasuo, so we'll actually be banning that on blue side. I wonder what they want to claim. Ezreal will be what a lot of teams would first pick without even thinking on the blue side, but Root hasn't looked super convincing on the Ezreal, and actually, Nuclear hasn't been fantastic on Ezreal either, so this might actually be 2 of the weaker Ezreal players in the LCK, so let's see how far down the priority Ezreal will fall.
Now they're going to first pick Sylas here, and, you know, there's no ults that you know that you're going to steal, but the last time, I mean, DAMWON were like, yeah, I see your Sylas, and I'm going to play Alistar anyway, so maybe it's a way of Jin Air saying, hey, it's a decent enough champion that can maybe deny some strong picks, but I'm not convinced just yet. I'm just trying to make up excuses for them. We'll see if it works out, as Jace is so high tier right now, and I hope that Flame hops onto that one.
Yeah, Flame's been playing a lot of Jason solo queue. Permaban against Nogari, but with Flame in the roster, they would have assumed they had a bit more of a reprieve on top lane bans. No top lane bans outside of a Flex Yasuo from Jin Air on blue side. Almost every other team with Nogari in the lineups banning 3 top laners. Jin Air see the Ezreal, they're going to match it with Kai'Sa. Probably been Root's most impressive pick on average outside of that one massive Vladimir game. So Season Tana in the roster, again, we should talk about that. There is a chance one of these 2 players will be playing the Sylas and might actually give us information as to why it's been first pick, a champion that has a epically low win rate in the top leagues around the world.
How about a Gragas? See that every once in a while. Does he have that new walk animation on 9.4?
Yes.
So we might get to see that.
He looks really obese, actually, when he's walking slow.
Yeah,
it's much more pronounced. And Twisted Fate just looks so strange with his slow walk as well. I don't know, they're trying things. I appreciate the effort put in. DAMWON Gaming, first round rise to flex between Flame and Showmaker. Old pick for Flame. There was a time when CJ Entus, Blaze, and Frost were leading the meta, first picking top lane rise for Shy and Flame. It's the same guy, and we have to embrace all the old veterans we have in our league, because there's precious few, Valdez.
You know, anything to get that Rise win rate to go up, right? It's 5-11 so far. DAMWON saying, hey, we'll help out that one, as they already won a game on that in game number 1. Can they do it again? As we were talking about Yorick in the first pick and ban of tonight, or of this series. It's not going to be seen in this game.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. I think Flame could be on Rise, and Canyon could be backing up his Riven game with his Jungle Jace game. He was one of the big Jungle Jace players. A lot of people, including Malram, was not on the Rift for game number 2, were practicing it. I'm looking at this and trying to construct a draft where Katarina can still fit in, and I've decided that this is going to be the side.
Okay, I like that. I mean, it's more exciting than Rise Jace and getting pummeled in 2 lanes. As could definitely be the way of things here.
I'm putting my hand up as a future prophet.
Yeah.
Or a false prophet. We'll find out.
I just want Tana to come out and play Riven top and say, I'm going to carry this team, and then Jin Air wins 8 games in a row.
All of them getting Riven somehow?
Yeah.
You know that
never gets banned for some reason.
They're almost mathematically in relegation as, well, I'm a false god apparently. Lee Sin gonna come out for Canyon. Sad times.
Lee Sin support, actually.
I was just trying to find the Katarina. I can't find it, Valdez. It's gone.
I lost a game earlier today against the Camille support against my Morgana. She was 5-0-4 by 20 minutes. The enemy's Camille support. She took Aftershock, if you guys want to copy that build.
I like your bad beat story.
Yeah, that's...
You sound like a poker player. And then I had pocket aces and the 7-5 offsuit.
There was no way I could lose, but then somehow, my Morgana in the bottom lane.
I like the way you pronounced that. That was some Kona stuff there. As Jin Air Green Wings, they have a lot of engage on their side. We're still working out the lane assignments here. A lot of people could be in the support role for Jin Air.
Or Jarvan, maybe. Should be Gragas, you would assume, and then Jarvan top and Sylas mid. Makes the most sense when you look at it now, as Tom Kent wasn't picked or banned all the way up until now, even with an Ezreal in the lineup.
This roster is so boring.
Full try-hard mode here for sure. They're not holding back. See if they can win this one.
When you sub in 3 players, it's basically a new team. This tells me they want to start the next series. And let's think about game number 1, where Nogari just YOLO pushed topside, and we're like, this is actually not teaching you good transferable skills for the next game. What if they draft super strong tier list comp that Team Liquid could be running, and then just win the game without making any mistakes? Then surely Flame, Canyon, Showmaker, Nuclear, Barrel should thus be the starting lineup. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. As another handshake here from the 2 coaches. It looks like, couldn't actually tell from the backside there, but it looks like the other Jin Air coach was doing this draft. Not 100% sure about that, but kind of looked that way. Jarvan returning to the top lane. We'll see if he can get something going there.
Popular pick over in the LEC. We'll see if the Summoner Air is actually invested into. On the side of Tana, congratulations to Tana and C's for making their long-awaited professional debut. Always cool to see new players at LoL Park. The opposition has gone full tier list here, as we're going to see how another Lee Sin performance goes. It's on Canyon this time. He needs to be the best Lee Sin in his team if he wants to actually monopolize that starting spot.
Second duo, as you put it before, Flame and Canyon playing together once again here in game number 2. Gonna give both the top jungle duos a chance in this series up against Jin Air, as we are gonna hop onto the rift for game number 2 right now, guys. Here we go. Game number 2. No Katarina. I'm a little bit sad about that one, but we get to see Flame playing a carry. It's Jace with Conqueror here in game number 2.
You know what else is a pretty delicious side dish to the entree, or to the main course that kind of disappointed us? It is Ignite Rise, which is pretty hype for a summon spell choice. Can switch over to the Cleanse or the Teleport later in the game, but at least Showmaker's found a bit of extra fire for this mid lane, which otherwise could have just been 2 pretty tanky guys farming away.
It's a cool choice, too. You were mentioning the brawling that comes out from a Sylas, so maybe Showmaker wants to just have that reach to always threaten and kind of put Grace on a leash in the mid lane.
Is it our first new Conqueror of LCK? I believe it might be.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool to see that finally come out. Of course, the big changes, you can no longer prep Conqueror on minions, and now the true damage, it's only 10% from 20, but you get the healing. And the big meta thing to do, which I would assume Flame is doing, maybe we'll get the runes to confirm this, but the big kind of word is that you go Conqueror plus also the pretty standard Domination, Taste the Blood, Ravenous Hunter trio, and you just have so much healing without having to buy healing items that it really gets bigger and bigger once those Ravenous Hunter stacks start coming in. Makes you very able to put in big damage trades, but also shrug off enemy damage. That's the synergy there. And we get the confirmation from Tana. Summoner Airy, this is something Soaz was doing for Misfits, a big favorite among the LEC top laners. You take Summoner Airy in these range versus melee matchups. We saw it in the Kennen matchup. Soaz, you just poke with E. Unfortunately, your all-ins, they're not so great.
Flame is getting close. He doesn't bring Ignite into this lane, of course. Has the teleport. And he lands another accelerated shock blast to the face of Tana, as things are not going well for our new top laner of Jin Air.
Would imagine that the only time he might find some lane priority is through a kill, so going to be waiting for Siege to hit level 6 to make that happen. The bot lane, though, Kai'Sa and Gragas done pretty surprising things in 2v2s. I think back to Deft and Tucson getting a 2v2 kill on Griffin's bot lane at level 2. Canyon is here super early trying to dunk on this lane. Welcome to the jungle.
Yep, we'll see if they can actually make it happen as the Q lands, and they have the damage. Nice tank in there from Flame. TP comes in, but it's too late. I almost wanted to cover my eyes for that one, as it doesn't seem like DAMWON are going to miss anything. And they pick up a very early kill on 3CS Jarvan.
I promised Tana fun and games. He didn't get any. He just died instantly. Nicely done
now
with
he's
the
in
turret.
the mid lane. He's already given up.
Well, I mean, that's about the big minion wave that Grace was able to pick up top, so answering there. But yeah, it's, you know, flexible lane assignments possible, given it's just another melee versus range matchup that we could have in the top lane before too long. I played a bit of this myself to get a feel for it, and the issue is, against ranged opponents, I like it because you just kind of get through the laning phase, and you weren't going to walk up for too many trades anyway because you would have lost on exit damage to ranged autos. Against melee champions, doesn't feel as good. However, you are super safe, so dying outside of a turret dive, much more tricky to pull off.
Interesting to see it more in the mid lane, as it is a very short lane. You'd have that kind of escapability, I suppose, but not the length to put on much aggression. But do we need more Jarvan in solo queue and in competitive? I'm not 100% sure, as hasn't found too much success so far.
Does a bit of a Malphite impression with the transparent engage, so I think for solo queue, Jarvan should always be more at the forefront of your mind. Trades in bot side. Already mentioned that Nuclear hasn't really impressed us on Ezreal so far this season. It's been a pretty frequent pick from him, but 2 and 4 win rate wise. And just hasn't been, you know, some of the god tier Ezreals we have, like Deft and Teddy in this league. Still happy to farm it out. And the thing you can say is when you combo Ezreal and Tahm Kench, they get their 2 items, they go mid lane, and their ability to roam and also play around one of the most profound item spikes in the game does make the duo so super reliable to wield. Same sort of thought around something like the Rek'Sai that we don't see today. If the numbers are good enough, you put it together and it will always do what it suggests it will from the game.
Take a closer look at one of our new players here on Jin Air, trying to just CS under turret up against the Jace, not having the most fun time, as nice little trade in the mid lane. Gonna get that big lockdown on a Grace here. Does have the aftershock, but wasn't available, it looked like, at that moment in time. Takes a huge chunk of damage, doesn't have TP, but is gonna have to back.
Now they're playing under mid and top lane turret with only bot going decently. For the early game here for Jin Air, it was always going to be a losing lane in top, and mid is going to take some time to equalize for Grace. You have to choose the right trades. And Showmaker and the Ignite actually makes that level 3 brawling a bit more risky, so don't mind the spellbook choice coming through from Showmaker. Flame, level 6 already. Obviously no huge spike from that as a Jace, but every time you have a level lead, that 500, 600, 700 gold worth of stats you get from leveling up, means that Tana, who's gone so respectful, look at this Valdez, he went Corrupting Potion into Doran's shield just to survive the lane.
Yeah.
It means that any sort of Tiamat, Titanic Hydra is going to be super delayed.
We're gonna be looking at 20 minutes, I'd suppose, for, you know, big items to be coming through. It's gonna take a long time, as you mentioned. He's already down to nearly half the CS of Flame so far. Will we have that Flame Horizon? Is another question. The man himself playing back here in Korea. Can he make it happen again?
And it's awesome to see Flame back. You know, this is a nameplate's on moment for me. I think we did the stat pre-season that there was only 10% of players in the LCK starting this year actually played in OGN Champion, which was the name of the LCK before 2015, before it became a double round robin best of 3 league format. So bringing back an 11th player here in Flame, who, like you say, has one of the most iconic League of Legends terms, Flame Horizon, named after him. I remember one of my saddest moments as a caster was over at IM San Jose in 2016, where Flame was on Longzhou at the time, playing in that tournament, but was an unused substitute, just practicing alone in the back. And I'm like, this guy is talked about almost every game of League of Legends played around the world, and here he is not even getting a game on Longzhou.
Yeah.
Happier news for him now with his re-entrance to the LCK, getting to play in getting that big win over SKT would give so much confidence both to him and his decision to keep playing as a professional player, and to DAMWON for picking up one of the older players in the league.
I was always very interested to see how the DAMWON story would go, especially with picking up the world champion coach, as you mentioned, from IG. See, you know, can he bring that magic into another team? We're beginning to make this league of LCK into a league that has a bunch of legendary coaches. You know, Como was one of them for a while. Obviously, the generic coach, or rather not the generic coach, the Griffin coach, making a big name for himself, CV Max, as a guy that has some very interesting and somewhat crazy ideas about how to train his players, but they're somewhat working. And now a Korean coach that coached a world champion Chinese team coming in for DAMWON, which always made me interested to see how well DAMWON could do in their LCK season.
And we're expecting this game number 2 performance of DAMWON with those changes to be more controlled, less overly aggressive, like Noguri is known for. So far, that has meant the lead is only 1,000, but here we go.
Trying to get on top, he does land that fear into that one, so okay, nice burst damage comes out and sees. And Grace able to make a kill work in the mid lane.
Even through the cleanse available from Showmaker and his flash, he goes down there. The calculation overall, another turret shot probably would have taken down C's, but we're finding a good moment around one of these rookie players. So nice first gank attempt from Jin's rookie jump.
Yeah, C's doing the Nocturne thing, and Canyon not really making him too accountable so far, just farming up to 6 as fast as possible and getting a good gank off. That's really what you would hope from your Nocturne in any game on any team. And it looks like C's able to effectively avoid Canyon going in for the steal of the red buff. So another nice deal going for him there, as Canyon will pick that one up. Still down a level though on C's.
They're poking in the bot side as Canyon starts up the Drake. So looking for a solo here and getting as much pressure as they can. And what has been a pretty even 50-50 matchup on the bot side. Drawing out the W once again. That was an all-in attempt from Nova with flash. Doesn't get a kill, but the Drake will go the way of DAMWON Gaming at exactly the same time.
Just about exactly 10 minutes as well. That'll be the first Drake that does come out here. This game. More trading in the bottom side. Root getting on in there. Heal has to be used by Beryl, looks like, just to get him to safety.
And the timings here on the Devour, the one off screen on the all-in with the flash and over, a good one, but this time been hard to gauge with the spell having such a long cooldown. The nuclear's down in CS in the 1v1 here. We're going to be going for the Blade of Ruin King Kai'Sa build for a bit more sustain in lane.
It's nice to see moments like this where Root comes in and shows that he can be a dominating force. Root and Nova as a duo coming in and winning, because all those questions we were asking about Stitch, where is he, why isn't he playing? Root was high up on the solo kill ladder, not 100% sure where he's at exactly right now, but definitely has a history as being one of those very mechanically skilled players.
Seeing the brawling in mid lane, Canyon lying in wait.
Ooh, that was close. Kind of looked like that hitbox should have been given to him, but not today.
No benefit of the doubt there. C's going to be spotted. Walked over a ward earlier. Hard to gauge too much from solo queue right now, but I want to talk about how Nova's ahead of the play this time.
Finally, Nova getting on in there, but here's Beryl going to make his way on in. C's taking a bunch of damage, but fantastic timing on the stopwatch. Showmaker, though, in the back, doing so much damage on the rise alongside the Lee Sin. That's going to be a wipe of 3 kills. As DAMWON able to get the better of that fight.
Nova starts well, but Beryl can join with the ultimate, and then the firing squad was just Showmaker, the machine gun mage. He would just put out so much damage to just bookend that fight. And sure, the 3 kills go the way of DAMWON, and some turret plates is the insult upon injury for the side of DAMWON Gaming and Flame.
Gonna feel fantastic about that one. So much gold now in the pockets of that Jace in the top lane. No kill just yet, 0, 0, and 4, but was a big part of all that damage in that fight. I want to see the slowed down version. I didn't quite get to see exactly everything in that fight. Was a bit of a wonky one.
We started off with Nova being ahead of the play just like Hoyt was in game number 1 where he picked up the MVP. They dive in, but Cease is all alone, so that ult to begin. Doesn't really get much barring a disengage from Canyon. And then Showmaker's free hitting, and it's just how the fight comes together. You can see the communication fight-wise is so much cleaner for DAMWON, and they even have the mobility on the end to clean up some kills.
Grace also took the Jace ultimate. I suppose out of all of those, probably the Lee Sin would have been the best. I'm not 100% sure because he just used all his Silas abilities and then pressed his R, turned into Jace, and then died. So didn't actually do anything, that Silas ultimate that time around.
We'll call it a whoopsie. Violet under that column. CS-wise, big lead for Flame in a more dominating matchup. We wondered if we would only see him on kind of dog champ duty, given that that is where he would differ the most from Nogari, who's usually in the aggressive side of the matchup. We're seeing some vintage aggression here from Flame.
Ooh, if he landed that one, could have pushed that one into more, but we do have Canyon teleporting a bit into the Rift Herald being put out right before 14.
And some very Korean pleasantries here. His Hyung, his older brother, going to get the solo gold. It was Showmaker. Game number 1, this time it's Flame.
Grace takes the kick, gives that one away. All of the plates went the way of Flame.
Yeah.
As you were mentioning, this guy has got deep pockets right now. He's feeling good.
Cool to see. Huge age gap between the two. Canyon 17, Flame, I believe 25 Western age right now, 24 or 25, so a lot of years difference between the two. Flame always known to have a very dominant voice around his lane, and he's able to set up a huge item discrepancy here. There's just no way for Tana to salvage this lane now. Jarvan top with areas about salvaging. This is the maximum trying to be gained by DAMWON.
Okay, in comes C's. They're trying to make this a 3-on-2. Might be able to get Flame down here. Doing his best to do damage on the backside. Grace surviving with the aftershock, but nice kick over the wall. Trying to alley-oop that to Showmaker, but stopwatch comes in and down goes Canyon. Have they gone too far? Showmaker is going to try to teleport out, but does get feared before that. And a triple kill goes the way of C's.
Not what we were thinking with DAMWON changing up and bringing in Flame, but they just get too bold, Valdez. They already got the turret there. Last bits of health. It should have gone down without a fight, but in the end, they over-engage. Canyon kind of chases the loss is the term we use. It goes further. And what was a really bad scenario. And that means out of nowhere, Nocturne's next ult's going to do way more damage than it was previously.
It's definitely DAMWON pushed in way too far, but Jinair, actually something good. They take advantage of it here.
Now, right now, you look at Summoners, Jace is done. There's no way for him to get out, so it's one death, right? You got 2 turrets, but then Canyon, young, brash rookie, goes in for the kick play. It tries to alley-oop to Showmaker in a pretty similar way to how Punch played it game number 1, but it's just not the time. The mechanics on point, but the decision-making not. The tether had already armed, so of course the fear effect does persist through the realm. What looks a bit tricky, but that's how that one works. And now out of nowhere, Guardian Angel means that C's can be even more bold next time out.
He's got Guardian Angel and Warrior at 15 minutes and a half, basically, is when he picked that up. This Nocturne, definitely a good feeling for him, as so much gold essentially handed on over. See if he can do something big for his team on that play. They're going to give away the Ocean Drake to DAMWON, not the biggest steal in the world here.
Worth noting that it's kind of a duality here in that C's gets a triple kill, and now, yes, he is actually more scary. He'll have level 11 soon, he can dive in. But it doesn't help the lane that was the most on fire, which is the Jarvan, unless we see Nocturne camping that lane. So still a huge item discrepancy in that area. They're able to defend a bit here. The gold lead hasn't snowballed to ridiculous amounts at 16 minutes into the game. So given that, there are areas around Nocturne where Jinair can fight back, but if C's doesn't show up, the gold lead is still felt in other lanes.
Certainly does feel that way. We'll see how this comes along. Jinair only down about 2,000 golds here at 17 minutes. You remember last game at 15, they were down about 4,000. So bit of an improvement here coming into game 2. Always got to look for that. You are casting these Jinair games as Jinair trying to be proactive, trying to get a bunch of vision down. You can see at least on the bottom side of the map, 3 control wards. One pretty aggressively, so liking the little things they're pulling off so far.
Surprised to see Nuclear and Beryl stay 2v2 in the bot lane. Of course, we heavily criticized Jinair for a similar scenario earlier in the game. They could put Jace in this long lane and make things happen top, but Their read right now, even with Mountain Drake not spawning for a long time, is they don't care that much about topside vision control or roaming between lanes, and that means the Seas might find an easy game.
Looking here for the Tom Kent. Can he get him down? The fear comes in, but the gray health seems to be way too much. Nuclear able to just shell out damage, and here comes Canyon. Seas looks like he might be losing that GA. No, they're just gonna go for the easy kill here. Get on top of that guy. Root takes so much damage on the backside. Devour is still available, and Gray's trying to take him out, but it looks like he might pay as the flash comes through, and Showmaker with a giant shield gonna say, see you later.
Snipe.
Okay, well, that is Nocturne, does have the spell
Wait, the
shield.
respawn.
Oh,
got him!
Finally it happens here! Once again, Nuclear does make the big play.
That's what you're going for with those moments. If you hit in a big way, you get a big kill. Takes him down in the fountain. Not even the fountain will keep you safe if you're Jin Air.
Oh, God, I love it. That's going to be one big highlight for sure for Nuclear's Ezreal now. You're mentioning he hasn't had the most luck on that pick so far, but tonight's his night, it seems.
And now the next time you can say, remember that snipe, and then suddenly, no arguments about the Ezreal. Big moment from Nuclear. You throw it out against a wall, and at worst, or at kind of the more realistic choice, you get someone who's backing. The fanciful one is going for the respawn. They get the respawn on that particular spawning plan. This was trying to double down around bot side, which has gone pretty well for Jin Air, but level 1 Nocturnal can't really find the damage to get the kill. Canyon takes the easy kill rather than going for the fanciful one here. Pretty extended stuff, but of course we're all waiting for the last moments of this fight. Grace again enters with no stolen ultimate, and combat takes Elysian out, which is probably the best one, but at the end of the day, not important. Nuclear goes back and says, will I find Kai'Sa backing? The answer there was no, but here's the chase damage. It rolls in, and just as he spawns, overkilled by quite a lot.
Gotta love the observers as well. Looking at that one
와
the whole
나이스
way.
잡았어. 야 우물공 뭐야?
Wait for the turn, it's gonna have it.
형사 미드 노리면 궁 봐줄 수 있는데 피 많지 않아서 집 가고.
Wow, that was surprisingly emotionless. Maybe he's just a Baker style and he saw it happening 30 seconds before about this.
I know. That was, okay. He's speechless. He doesn't
Sometimes
even know
you
what to
reach
say.
for a reaction, you don't get one. As we're going in!
Okay, Jin Air say, we have GA, let's try to do damage, but again, it's Tom Kent. And Flame is so fed. Double knock up on the kick. In comes Canyon. He's got a stopwatch. Everybody's going down. As we're looking for the ace now at 20 minutes, and they're gonna get it. Triple kill goes the way of the Ezreal. Might have even been a quadra on the backside, but that's just about the way this series was meant to go. DAMWON clean him up.
A perfect ace for a perfect series. 5-0 on the dive there. They juggle it well. They turn onto the Baron. Baron dies instantly, and that all too familiar gold lead at 20 minutes is back against Jin Air Green Wings.
Well, it's interesting that they thought that was going to work, but they had one play. It was Nocturne going in, and, well, didn't work out.
And the problem is they have long lanes. Jace can't enter lane. Jarvan can't enter lane against Jace, so why not try the all-in while the game isn't over? The downside is it's going to hesitate, or it's going to make your demise quicker. The upside is you find some battle-back team fight victories, but Jace had already teleported in. They go for this dive. We missed the start of this play and the early teleport from the Jarvan, but this is the counterpoint. They can't find anything even around the Guardian Angel Nocturne. They pick up that triple kill. All the kills go down, and I'll take this Jin Air over the one that just watches the game end around them. Sadly, the end result, not too different.
Double kill to Showmaker, triple kill there to Nuclear. Got the confirmation as
A full house,
yes,
as
exactly.
Atlas would call it.
It's I don't know the way they say the fulls. I actually forget.
But you're a poker player.
I know. I don't remember, Papa.
Card player, by the way.
It's
You're chasing the loss on this
yeah.
analogy. Go back
really,
to the play-by-play.
Really thinking about that one. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I want you to think about
Brain freeze.
this particular game. You didn't even have a slushy there. I don't know where the brain freeze came from. Wait, you actually have a slushy?
I do.
Wow. It's really hard to find slushies in Korea.
I spawned a slushy, missed it.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Had this on the desk the whole time.
I spawned a 2-0 victory against Jin Air.
Oh, that's not very hard, Papa. I wouldn't be too impressed with yourself.
Well,
yeah.
DAMWON Gaming looking to make it 22-1 to the side of opponents facing Jin Air. They push through mid. Flame deletes turrets and wondering if Nocturne will try again or if he just watches all of his structures go down.
Jin Air saying, here, you can have it. As they're going up against Barrett, they're down 13,000 gold. Ezreal hops forward, trying to do his best Teddy impression. It's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good. As he chunks down the Nocturne and pretty much anybody in his way. Just about 0 health. Okay, we're going in. He has a stopwatch. We're going all the way to the back door here. That's okay. They get the Ezreal.
Nice free hitting.
Here we go. Root in the back line, and somehow, some way, can they kill Root though? It doesn't look like it. He gets a triple here in the backside, and Silas is going to clean it up somehow. Jin Air come back.
They've won a game, but it's their best moment of the season. They're 12,000 gold behind. No one keeps eyes on Root, and it all falls apart for DAMWON Gaming.
I can't even believe it. How do they do it?
They enter this 12,000 gold down. Root has been 1v9ing in game number 1. Couldn't find anything. In the front line, Tana controls space. Nocturne, Suicide. Watch when Root chooses his entrance. They get Ezreal first. 1,000 gold bounty to open this way. Let's watch all the gold pops. That's 1,700 gold so far in this team fight. And it continues to get bigger. So much shutdown. It's over 2,000 gold in kills just from the team fight. If not for Beryl pressing shield, Root would have lived in the most unlikely of fashion, and he almost has a gold lead over Nuclear.
Well, he has a lot of CC in the comp. It was the Jarvan ult. He had this stopwatch, right? He makes it happen at the best possible time. Into the 3-man body slam by Nova. By that time, everybody's stunned up, everybody's retreating, and it's the perfect time for Root to get in there and somehow come back.
And if this is an animated feature, Jin Air win this game. How much pep in your step, how much of a scrappy play from Root, who's just trying everything possible to get just another game when he's only had one the entire season. Desperation there. Will it be enough? They're looking for a catch.
Wow, okay, he actually predicts the flash. What a play! As he gets the kill now onto Rise.
Jin Air's so good!
How do they do it?
Holy crap, this is Pixar right here.
Okay, we can officially say this is their best moment of the season.
They're so good!
These 2 plays, that was insane.
Tell your friends, Jin Air Green Wings are not rolling over in a series for the first time since that Genji series in the first round. It's their best game too. That was that victory against Genji in game 2, and every other game 2 has been a slaughter. And
Watch
yes,
predict the flash.
It's about the predict here. It's on just the corner. Every Rise makes this flash play.
Yeah.
Not every Gragas predicts it and makes him look oh so silly.
So now we know why we see Nova more often.
I mean, do you know what's the best part, though? It's Nova on an Engage pick, and when he was playing with Teddy, it was Rakan, Engage champions, and then his Tahm Kench play wasn't great. He's back on the Engage picks, able to pull off a big moment there. And remember, if Root somehow chooses the right moment, he is ungodly fed at this point, relative to where every other Jin Air player has been post 25 minutes. And then suddenly you say, Jace team fighting? Maybe this actually could fall apart for DAMWON. It's only a 5,000, sorry, it's still a 10,000 gold lead. Isn't it insane?
You're getting ahead of yourself there.
Because I'm watching the same game everyone else is.
I know.
Have I even hit this level of loudness in my voice since Jin Air started playing this season?
It's like the LCK Summer Finals.
I need to know if they can win. It's possible.
I know. As it was like a 14,000 gold lead, right? They come back from that. The Kaisa slowly catch it up. Okay.
Jesus. He's so squishy.
That's all right, though. It's all right. Just one.
Jin Air needs all of the energy of every LCK fan, agnostic of region, around the world. You never want to see a team only win one game in an entire season, be one better than Shanghai Dragons. We want to see some real fight here from Jin Air. Baron's going to be tricky. They're teleporting in. It's not a freebie yet. It's still 8,000 health.
That's a good teleport, you know. Gets right in the backside.
Yeah, probably going to be too late, though.
Baron no, Steel comes in, and the Rise ultimate so good as, okay. Showmaker goes back over, but they do have to devour. That Rise ultimate so clever. to get him out of dodge.
It's still close, though. Damn, is it close. The smite does end up taking, I believe, from Showmaker, but regardless, he gets the credit. How is this a game? It was so over. And now,
how do they do it?
We should just lock Cam on Root because it's all about him this game. I'm gonna watch the replay. Let's watch this one. How many smites even is there here? It's at 95 health. I don't even know what took it there, to be honest. The replay overlay. The exit's really nice. That's a cool Rise play on the back end.
Yeah, they knock him back.
Oh man, the I'm helping moment. Thankfully, Barrel can, of course, devour over the wall. They'll lose a Drake, but do notice, we're only 28 minutes in. There's no Elder to take. Jin Air's turret defense, they bought the DLC. They got Mom's credit card, and they're looking like they're not going to lose this iOS game just yet.
They paid the price for so many different series, and finally,
this feels
they
like
get an opportunity.
Doesn't this feel like the best value, $99.99? Yeah. I think that's what you needed, but Jin Air's here. There's a chance for Jin Air Green Wings in this game. Whatever the gold numbers show, they already won one team fight, but DAMWON Gaming, no. If Root dies, it's all over, and all Root has is a stopwatch, no QSS against DAMWON.
He's got 3 items and a dream right now. It's all he has. As, you know, it does depend on Root. Using his abilities well, that was a interesting ult there, but he is level 16, can get another one soon. It does depend on the engage as well. See how this goes, trying to get another big one here. Lots of damage goes down, but the GA immediately popped. They almost got Nuclear on the backside here, but Z's is gonna go down, as Nuclear will survive with the Tom Kicks.
Root couldn't go in. There was no time to use the ult there, and they just take the Sacrificial Lamb in the front line. Good call from DAMWON. A big change to how they approached the previous fight. That will mean an inhibitor goes down. They should get a second one as well. Hard for Jin Air to try anything if the Nocturne is dead. Are they going to go for more here? They might try to take Nexus turret.
Yeah. Looks like it. They're going into the Nexus.
Big flash!
Straight onto Root. Big knockup, though, from the Jarvan into the cast. Do they have enough damage? Jarvan goes down, but still Root is alive! Oh, no, he goes down on the Shock Blast there from the Jays. And that's going to do it, guys. Hopes and dreams scattered on the ground as DAMWON saying, no, we tried to throw it, but it's not going to happen. DAMWON should win game 2.
Gonna get the exit kill on C. Season Tanner will not pick up their first victories in the LCK, but Valdez, there's double rainbows, and there's Jin Air not rolling over. Both of them are super rare, and credit to Jin Air. A couple of moments of madness from DAMWON, but also a really nice fight from Root. Almost gets them back from what seemed like an unwinnable game.
Really gotta hand it to them. It's hard to feel bad, as that was probably their best moment of the series. DAMWON here, they don't look happy though. We have to talk about them as well, because as one of those bigger teams, especially going up against Jin Air, you gotta understand that you should be crushing them every game, but Jin Air say no. We're gonna take it up against DAMWON and really make it hard for them there in game number 2.
And you know the famous adage of, I didn't expect much and yet I'm still disappointed? That seems like a weird thing to say about a team that won 2-0. But consider DAMWON Gaming's options. The first lineup with Noguri, you see some of the old Noguri overextending. It's just say, it's the time. Flame will come in and play reliable. They'll grind this one out. That didn't happen at all. The second lineup here didn't actually put in the kind of scientific performance you might have expected. And now if you're the coach and you said, let's send out 2 rosters and work out who starts next time, when you do hit that higher tier opposition, you actually still have pretty muddy waters when deciding, is it going to be one configuration or another from DAMWON? No full impression there, and a big shout out to Jin Air, who did fight back at the end to not allow this to be a standard 2-0 roller.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to them. We got the zoom in on Nova there, making the big plays. The follow-up on the Jarvan was big time, as Strong Cold Dragon, I agree.
The Flame love out there on the right as well. Still super popular. We don't forget our stars over in Korea. Coaching staff chatting with Flame and the other members of DAMWON. Definitely a VOD review series for the side of DAMWON Gaming, and I'll say this in a positive way. A good VOD review for Jin. Remember a week ago I said don't even watch VODs of this series, you guys were so struggling. Go out there and do some team building. If this is the payoff, they had to change a lot. There's a lot of different variables out there, but it's a series that Jin Air can look at and say, there's actually some good moments starting and coming into these games, which is more they can say for quite a few series in a row.
All in all, I feel like good feels for sure after that game. That was more exciting than I expected it to be. Jin at least giving us a moment to dream and to hope. At the end, they're down 14,000 gold, somehow able to win a team fight with the Kaiser. But wasn't meant to be this time around. Maybe next time you can see Coach talking deeply with, I believe that's Tana.
Yeah, that was Tana, the previous recent birthday boy. Shout out to another person super stoked right now. The highlight maker for Jin next series has got some highlights to show.
It's very obvious. It makes his job really easy.
I know.
Show
that
highlights
3 times.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just the 2, you know, the one team fight and then the catch with the barrel there.
2 Nova. How about 2 team fights in 1 catch? Just show that same team fight twice and then throw in, bookend it with the other one. That's what I want to see.
I like that, yeah. See that the next time around as we do have to, I think it's Sandbox. Yeah, Jin will be going up against Sandbox the next time around. And Sandbox did look better today up against Afrika, but it's Afrika that's rebuilding, so hey, you never know. Maybe Sandbox will be the first one to fall to Jin.
And a competitive week where whatever the game score, they have at least 2 more moments in that series where there were moments where you could take away things, is the building block. It sounds so hollow, but remember, at this point, almost 100% going to be in relegation. You can still fight your way out of relegation. There's no auto relegation in the LCK, and we're the only league that even has relegation. Finding good things to build upon could be enough to beat challenger opposition in promotions. And Jin at least found some isolated moments in game number 2.
Lands a Q before the flash there, nicely done. This was another moment where DAMWON just begins to scare you with some of the decisions they make. Canyon comes over and says, here, let me alley-oop the guy with the stopwatch. He goes down himself and ends up giving up 3 kills to the Nocturne, which in the end does actually help Jin in some of those later game team fights.
And that was Canyon re-engaging when Jace for sure was dead. That gave the 2 extra kills over. This was where things started to steady though. Saw this overexertion on the bot side. You just thought DAMWON Gaming would close it out, right? This was with the ultra highlight moment of Nuclear's snipe onto the respawning of Root. And yet, was that the highlight of this game? There was so much craziness after this moment when it felt like this was going to be the YouTube highlight for all time. Closeout kill, Nuclear predicting on the respawn timer here. Obviously need a little bit of luck to pull this off, but goes through 1 spell shield and 1 health bar. Death onto Root, and yet Root had the last laugh this game. Couldn't actually pick up the victory. Some of the team fights were just madness.
This was the one where you can tell, hey, we're not gonna win by sitting back. We have to engage. That's what our comp does. But Canyon just assassinates the 80 carry. This turns into a full-on ace into the Baron for DAMWON, which is really what gets that big gold lead going for the side of DAMWON. But this is the big team fight for Jin.
This is definitely DAMWON Gaming hero, kill hero, going very simple on the approach, and so much layering of CC means that Root comes in with an insane shift at 2,500 health and AoE. He's been able to farm up, and we talked about kind of the forlorn figure he was, farming in lane but not being able to impact the game. What a victory for Jin in this team fight. And if you had sat back and watched the games that we've cast, you'd understand that moments like that have been so absent for Jin. They have been abjectly falling apart again and again. So that even though that doesn't impact the end of W or L, you know it impacts the individual of Root and the team of Jin.
Shining light in the darkness for that next series that they do have to face, which is part of the reason why I believe maybe it will be Sandbox, which might be the first team that goes down to Jin. This is a much better damage graph compared to game number 1. They actually did damage in this game, Jin did.
Wow. That was definitely the highest octane Jin game in quite a while. I still come out and I'm feeling good about the series and watching it, and Jin, we're fighting till the end, which I can respect. DAMWON Gaming again close out the series. So interested to see what they actually decide roster-wise for DAMWON Gaming's next series. They are now on that 5-win streak, only a single game drop to SK Telecom T1. Otherwise, 2-0 all the way through. And yet, the implications here seem so far-reaching and yet so hard to button down.
Yep. DAMWON up against Afrika on Saturday. That's going to be the next matchup that they do have coming in here. We're going to take a look at who the MVP is from this game. I don't know who I'd give that to. A lot of mistakes on the side of DAMWON in Game 2.
See if it's Nuclear or Showmaker, I'm kind of thinking is no, it's neither. Flame, 100% MVP rate. Laning phase went well for him, but an MVP, I don't quite see it, but it's certainly more out for the votes.
I mean, he just did Jace things in this game. Nice stopwatch that time around, got devoured. MVP worthy getting devoured. As, I don't know, Jace just seems so strong right now. It's not just Jin-Air, but Jace, after the Urgot nerf especially, seems so strong in the current meta.
That was the only replay.
He didn't even really do anything in that replay. He had like no mana, he like autoed a bunch and then stopwatch. So, Flame gets it, I guess.
그야말로 파죽지세 담원이 5연승을 달성했습니다. 오늘의 MVP 호잇 선수, 플레임 선수 모실게요. 안녕하세요.
Hoyt and Flame from DAMWON Gaming.
네, 호잇 선수 지난번에 MVP 받으셨을 때는 팀이 져서 아깝게 이 자리에 못 서셨는데 오늘 첫 인터뷰예요. 소감이 어떠신가요?
This is your first interview. How do you feel?
인터뷰도 처음 하는 거라서 좀
This is
되게
my first MVP
떨리는데
interview, so I'm really nervous,
기분 너무 좋은 것
but
같아요.
feels really good.
플레임 선수는 연속으로
Flame,
MVP 받으셨습니다.
you're getting 2 MVPs in a row.
네, 기분
Must be really
좋아요.
happy. Yes, I am
오늘
happy.
승리 소감은 어떠신가요?
How do you feel about today's
일단
victory?
전반적으로 경기 자체는
Well, overall,
만족했는데 한두
the
번
game was really
실수했던 것
clean,
그런
but
게 좀
there were
아쉬웠고
some of mistakes
그런 것만
also.
보면 되게
So I
만족스러웠던
think we
것 같아요.
also have to
네,
build up
조금
upon
아쉬운
it.
점은 있었지만 깔끔하게 1, 2세트 모두 가져갔습니다. 오늘 1세트, 2세트 모두 첫 번째
Game 1 and 2.
카드로
You guys
죄송합니다.
banned out
렉사이를
Rek'Sai.
선택을 하셨어요. 네, 상대가 가져가면 까다롭다고 생각을
Do
하셨나요?
you think it's really tricky to
저희는
counterplay it?
렉사이에 대해서 솔직히 잘 모르겠어가지고
So actually we're not really sure about Rek'Sai, so you just don't want anything unexpected to happen.
혹시 만나게 될까봐 먼저 밴을 하셨다고 말씀해 주셨습니다. 오늘 1세트에서 호잇 선수의 알리가 굉장히 빛났습니다.
Your
로밍을
Alyssa
상당히
was
많이
everything that made
다니시던데
all the plays
비교적
and
조용했던
engagements
바텀
today.
상황이 영향이
And you were
있었나요?
roaming a lot.
처음 서로 집 갔다 오는 타이밍에 딱 저만
So,
900원 모아서
When everyone was on base, actually I had 900 gold, so I was able to get the mobility boost. So I just wanted to make some plays with it. So I think that was why I was
그리고
able to make some of the
탑
roams.
정글 서포트 대거 교체가 있었는데
A lot of
플레이
players
선수도
subbed in
2세트에
Game
나오기도
2,
했고요.
and you also subbed in
다양한
for
팀
Game
색깔을 준비
2's Flame.
중이신가요?
So are you guys trying some new
다
stuff?
같이 그 감독님이 인터뷰하신 대로
Just as our head
서브
coach
없는 다 같이
interviewed,
주전인 팀
we just want
만들고
all
있는
the
것
players to be the
네,
starting
플레임
member, you know?
선수는
None
상대가
of our
시딘
players are
하나 선수가
subs, we are just all the
나왔는데요.
starting
직접
members, we are
상대해보니까
all the main
어떠셨어요?
characters. How was your match against Tana today?
잘하신 것 같아요.
I think he can be
네,
really nervous
좋은
because it was his
평가
first
해주셨습니다.
game, but I think he did really good.
플레임 선수 우물궁 장면 보셨을 것
Flame.
같은데
Did you
그때
see that?
아마 그
Fountain
저희가
ultimate
경기
moment?
소리를 들었을 때는 우물궁 뭐야 우물궁 뭐야 이런 얘기가
You know, the
팀원들끼리
snipe from
나눠졌어요.
Ezreal.
네.
장면 한번
Every player
보면서
was
얘기를
talking about what's that
나눠볼게요.
ult? What's that ult? Over there.
자 이때
So over here,
이렇게 교전이 있고
there
나서
was a
돌아가서
bit of a team fight or
주니어
skirmish.
선수를 향해 누클리어 선수가 궁을 날립니다.
And then Nuclear over there, he just
사실
Is it
우물궁을 노린 건
ultimate over there?
아니었잖아요, 그죠?
he didn't really aim for it, right?
저는 사실 이걸 안 보고 있었어요.
아.
So I didn't really have my eyes on it.
끝내고 싶어서 몇
I just wanted to
분에
end it
끝낼지,
really
어떻게
quick,
끝낼지
so
그런 걸좀 생각하고
I was thinking
있었어요.
about when we
저희
can end it,
팀원끼리
when
좀
we can
재밌게
close it out.
얘기하고
So
싶더라고요.
네,
I
호잇
wasn't really
선수는
aware of
보셨나요?
that, but I think
보면서
our players were having
약간
communication
노린 건
about
아닌
this.
것 같아가지고 그냥 웃으면서 보고
I
있었어요.
think he wasn't
네,
really
혹시
like that was his full
가능할까 생각을
intention,
했지만
but I think he was
정말
a bit lucky.
카이사를 잡아냈습니다. 자 그리고 많은 분들을 웃음 짓게 만든 장면이
And
있었습니다.
there's another
이
highlight over here.
장면을 다시 봐야 할 것
We
같은데요.
have to go
자, 바로
through
쪽
this
상황
clip.
만나보시죠.
You're the Baron pit.
정말 멋지게
This one,
공을
everyone
타고
was
갔는데
able to escape with that ultimate, and then
라이즈를 다시
Rise
떠나 보냈습니다.
went back in. What
혹시 이
happened?
장면 누가 만들어냈는지
Who made
알고
that
계신가요?
happen?
전 잘 모르겠어요.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
라이즈가 뭐야 이거 누가 한 거야 이런 얘기
What did
했나요?
it say? Showmaker at that moment.
뭐 양심 고백했습니다.
Well, he was asking
Ah.
who's
북미에서
responsible
게임할
for
때
it,
이런
but
장면이 좀 많이 나오고.
so I just told the truth because it happens a lot
네,
when you play in
북미에서는
NA.
흔한 장면이라고. 이때 또 호이 선수가 잘 먹어주셔서.
But you saved them, you know.
Ah.
Well, I wasn't
네,
playing for
죄송해요.
game 2. It was Vero.
어,
Well, I'm super sorry.
죄송합니다.
괜찮습니다.
네.
So sorry. I'm
네,
really
베리
sorry.
선수가 잘
So Vero,
한편치로
there was a little bit of a
먹어주셨습니다.
super
자,
play.
이제 담원이 연승을 이어가야 합니다.
Damwon has to
어떻게
stack
유지하실
more
생각이에요?
victories from now on.
저희 일단 원래 하던 대로 좀 실수 좀 많이
Just as we
나왔는데
did,
다
you know,
실수 줄여서
We always make some mistakes, so we
네,
have to get
플레임
rid of it.
선수는요 또 3연속 MVP도 노리시나요?
What about you,
일단
Flame? Looking for 3 MVPs in a row?
같은 경우 저희가 좀
No,
많이
I'm
유리해서
not really that
좀
interested in MVPs, you
기분
know.
나쁜
About
상황이
game
몇
2,
번
you know,
한두
there
번
were a lot of
나왔는데 그런
moments
부분은
that
줄이고
Junior was
그
able to
외적으로는
kind of
다
turn the game
괜찮았다고
around, so we have to get rid of those
생각해요.
things and we have to be
경기력 계속
more like
향상시키고
perfect.
싶어요.
So
네,
I just want to
담원의
improve
연승
our
계속
performance.
응원하도록 하겠습니다. 인터뷰 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much for this interview, and I'm gonna pass it back to
네,
the
호이 선수와
caster.
플레임
Thank
선수
you.
만나봤습니다. 중계선 연결할게요.
Well, there you have it, guys. A nice other interview as well, once again. But nice dropping Rise over the wall and saying, we don't want you on our team anymore.
And I love how Showmaker did the classic, who was it then?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Who did that?
and they had
But,
to add the comment of, it happens in NA all the time. Thanks. Come on! LCS needs every
He
break it
knows,
can
right?
get.
No, he knows. He's aware. It was funny, too, because Showmaker saves them all in that one, and then they just drop him over the side, like dumping him off a boat. It's really funny.
Oh,
boy.
well. Man
Fun
overboard. Man overboard, but Tom Cash still saves the
Yeah.
day. It ended up being a fun series, and to me, the most enjoyable Jin Air series in a long time, where there was things to like about it. You could laugh with it, against it. That's the cool thing about this series. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with the game score. The reverse blackjack for Jin Air Green Wings 21 has been reached. Meanwhile, DAMWON Gaming at 7-4. That's a 5-match win streak, baby.
Yeah, there you go. They're on their way up as, you know, they lost to good teams. They lost to Griffin, Sandbox, SKT, and Kingzone, I believe. So can't really blame them for those losses. They're trying to solidify their spot up in the top side, but you know, it's coming down now to what looks like 6 teams vying for 5 spots. Everybody else kind of on the outer side, as Gen G is the closest besides those teams, but they're 3-7.
So, on the last day of the season, Valdez, Griffin plays Jin Air Green Wings. And that could actually be positive 37 playing negative 37. Can you imagine?
You just do the math real quick.
I know! It's so amazing. Imagine if that happened, there would be a 78-game spread if it ended 2-0 Griffin. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Kingzone,
we
Humble
need
Life,
that.
SKT Gen G, but the last day of the season could be
Yeah, who cares about
an
tomorrow?
amazing. This would be the equivalent of like 39-0 versus 0-39 in the
Yeah.
Overwatch. So this would
Yeah.
be. We just need to see that
I'm
game.
real
happen.
hyped about
I'm
that
not
one.
casting it. I'm frustrated now.
Last day is a Sunday. It's going to be Ellis and Atlas joining you guys for that one. But it'll be me and Papa tomorrow, actually.
It will.
For this interesting schedule we have going on for this week. Just mixing up Thursday and Saturday, me and Atlas. So me and Papa doing 2 days in a row. It was a fun day today. Lots of cool stuff, even with the Jin Air series, making Game 2 very entertaining. So, as always, a blast, Papa. I'll see you tomorrow. Anything you want to say?
Rufus, baby. We did it. Tomorrow should be fun.
We'll be back, guys. Thank you once again for watching. We'll see you.